Well, over the last couple of weeks, we've been meeting the new members of the Maryland basketball team, the incoming transfers, and it's an opportunity to do that once again this morning here on GCR. As a world traveler, I can't wait to hear more about his story, but he comes in from Georgia Tech. He is power forward Tafara Gapare, and he is with us now here on GCR. Tafara, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
For sure.
Con-
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, dude, and congratulations on becoming a Terp. Tafara from New Zealand to Connecticut to UMass to Georgia Tech. Are you just now like trying to collect like every possible airport sticker that you can have or something like that, man? What a wild trip it's been for you.
No, it has for sure. No, I'm just trying to find the right place to call home, and I guess find a place to win, pursue my dreams, and make the most out of it.
Tafari, let's go back for a second before we get to Maryland. Like your path to basketball and to America from growing up in New Zealand. How did you come to the sport, and when did you know like, hey, I think I can do this?
Um, I believe I was about 11 years old when my coach from back home said he sees a lot of potential in me, and I could be possibly the second person from New Zealand to make it to the NBA.
Yeah, right. And that sounded pretty good to you. And you said, "All right,
Yeah, it did.
I guess I'll take that seriously then."
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So you obviously at that point knew that you wanted to pursue getting to America. What did it look like the next couple of years for you to come over here and finish high school? What was that process like?
It was a very long process. So when I was about 12, 13 years old, I started coming to Vegas with an academy that we had over there every year for AAU tournament for about 2 weeks. We'd play in those games and then go back home. And each year was just about building our confidence and becoming better as players.
And obviously that seemed to work. As it looked like it got you to where you are now. He is Tafara
Yeah.
Gapare. He's with us here on GCR. Tafara, you mentioned the second player, right? Like, is Steven Adams someone that you've ever gotten to know, or someone that you've tried to like model your game after in any sort of way?
Actually, me and Steven Adams are like we're close in a way. He gave me a scholarship to go to his high school in New Zealand.
That's huge.
Yeah.
What did that mean for you at that point in your life? And again, trying to follow kind of his path and become the second one to do it. Like how significant has he been for you?
He's a great person to me. And to see each other there and there, just checking on each other, just to see how we're doing. But it meant a lot when he gave me that scholarship. It just showed that he was very invested in who I am as a kid and what he sees in me.
That's awesome, man. That's really really cool. All right, so Tafar, you get to America, you end up at UMass, and then at Georgia Tech. Walk me through the decision now a little bit deeper into your career, and after getting kind of more of a significant run last season, why was it the right time for you to make a move again, and then why was it Maryland that was the right place for you to be?
Uh, I believe Maryland is more like home to me. I actually came here and played for Team Mello, the AAU
Yep.
team. Played in some EYBL sessions, and I was staying here. Um, I guess I came to Maryland because uh, the coaches have been recruiting me for a couple of years. Never really took the opportunity and seek to go other places, but now we're here and ready to get to work.
Tafara Gapare, incoming Maryland transfer, with us here on GCR. Tafara, we saw kind of, particularly in the second half of last season, that what we all knew as far as your talent and your potential, you started really having some breakout games and some double-digit scoring games and mixing in 10 rebounds. Did you feel like was there something that got more comfortable? Was it just an opportunity, What were we seeing in the second half of last season, and how confident are you that that's what you're going to bring moving forward here at Maryland?
Um, I believe last year's team at Georgia Tech, it really started with me impacting the game in all types of different areas. It wasn't really the same. They didn't have a second player like me. So I guess I had to really sit down and think about how I could impact the game, where I could impact the game, how I could help this team win. And that was just doing the little things, rebounding, affecting shots, um, and running the floor, spacing the floor, setting screens, getting guys open. So just building confidence um, off the court, especially releasing the stresses, releasing all the tension that I have up on my shoulders, just playing more comfortable.
We know that you are a capable outside shooter, right? Like we've seen you knock down shots, but is that something an area where you still feel like, being kind of that stretch four where maybe we still haven't even seen as much as what you're capable of doing there?
Yeah, definitely a lot of work to be done there. Percentages won't show it, but definitely something that I'm working on this summer, as it is my first summer in America uh, due to being injured during the summer last year
Okay.
and missing my first summer before I went to UMass, which is a huge plus for me now.
I was gonna say, so how are you gonna spend your summer? Who are you gonna work out with? How are you gonna, use this time in order to get the best version of Tafara Gapare?
There's a lot of people around Maryland that know me, so definitely getting to work with a lot of the coaches around school, and just building that confidence every day, getting better, taking building every day 1% better.
That's cool. So you obviously saw that a year ago, while it was a difficult season for Maryland, they never packed it in defensively. They were extremely hard out defensively all season long. Do you feel like you can play at that standard and say, hey, yeah, I'm willing to sell out and I will do the work necessary to play on that side of the floor?
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely brings me back to my AAU days. That's how we played, just switching everything, playing out in the perimeter a bit more, pressuring the ball. So definitely a bigger step compared to what it was at my old school. It was we were a little passive on going out and playing defense out in the perimeter.
So it's a largely new group of guys, right? Like it's you and Jacoby and Selton and a few guys that were together a year ago, obviously, and Julian and Deshaun Harris Smith. But how do you make up for that? Like, how does a team? I guess one, do you know any of these guys ahead of time? And two, what is it that you guys can do to try to get moving a little bit quicker with a largely new group of guys together?
Yeah, I actually met Juju on my first visit, which was 2022, started 2022.
Okay.
Um, and I also played against Derek Queen summer of 2022.
Okay. Yeah.
So no, I know a couple of them. Um, the other guys coming in definitely, from what I've seen on film, definitely have a huge impact on the game. Selton with his scoring, coming off the bench, sixth man of the year, that's a big plus. Jacoby and Rodney Rice, both guards, so they can make a big impact. Um, for me, I guess just finding the way that I can impact the game, especially on defense. It doesn't necessarily have to be scoring all the time.
You mentioned that first visit. Did you feel any amount after that point? You decided to go elsewhere. Was that still in the back of your mind at all? Like, man, I really did kind of like the vibe there. Did I make a mistake not deciding to go to Maryland the first time? Like, did you feel any of that over the last couple of years?
Unfortunately, the first time that I went on a visit was when Coach Turgeon had just got fired.
Ah, so it's a little bit of an
Yeah,
awkward time to make a decision like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I took time to go to a prep school in Connecticut for about 5 months and started to rack up some offers while
Yeah.
I was playing you. So that second visit that year was when Coach Willard had just arrived on campus. So I felt like I would take another route, which I guess didn't work out too well. But again, we're back in Maryland now. Feels more like home and ready to get to work.
I wondered if before we, could you tell us a little bit more when you say it feels a little bit more like home, right? Like I don't think it's because there's like an overwhelming, New Zealand population in the area. Not to say there aren't folks from New Zealand in the area, but it's not a massive population. What is it about Maryland? Maybe and I do think there's a bit of an international flavor in the area, maybe not uniquely New Zealand, but what is it about Maryland that to you makes it feel like home for you?
I feel like during the time that I was playing AAU here, I built a little name for myself, uh, earned some respect and from some people that I would never thought I would have respect from.
Hmm.
So um, they were very welcoming, um, and yeah, like I said, it's good to be around people that you know. Good to be around people that want to invest their time in you. So
That's cool, man. That's really, really cool, and I think it makes all the difference in the world. All right, before we let you go, Tafara Gapare, we got to get to know you. So first of all, like, what's something that try as you might, like food wise, you haven't been able to replicate? What's the thing that you miss most about home from a food perspective?
I hate to criticize, but definitely just non-processed food.
Okay,
It's,
I understand that, man. Like we got a problem with that in this country, bro.
yeah.
It's not good, man. It is not good. I understand that entirely. And then what do we need to know about you, right? Like away from basketball, when you're not hooping, what are you into? What do you do with your time? What are you watching? Anything like that?
To be honest, I'm really just chilling at home. Like to get on the game, um, and just watching a lot of basketball on YouTube, stuff like that. Not too much.
I mean, you sound like it's basketball's life, man. Like, and I appreciate that. And obviously, you're grinding for a passion and for something that you want to live out. Tafara Gapare, we're really excited about seeing you here at Maryland, getting to know you a little bit more. I know on Twitter it's at Tafara_Gapare5. What about on Instagram? Where can Maryland fans be giving you a follow?
Tafara.Gapare.
Tafara.Gapare. And again, that's Tafara Gapare. Tafara, congratulations on being a Terp, man. Really looking forward to seeing you this fall. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.